Howdy. Paris Prime. Paris Incarnon, specifically. It's one of my favorite weapons in the game. And one of my favorite ways of using it before Jade Shadows came out was with gas damage, because it already does a lot of upfront damage, and when you were to group enemies, it did some pretty big damage. And I like the AoE, and you could hit so many targets at once because it has infinite body punch through. It shoots like a wide-ass pancake of a projectile. Just really liked it. But it still had the downside of armor being way too strong, and I needed grouping, of course, to really make use of the gas. But now, it's much stronger, and there's an even better option for big boomies than gas, and that would be blast damage. So, this is the build that I normally run if I want to actually kill stuff if I'm not using gas. I do have a Riven here, but in this case you would just replace the Riven if you don't have it with the typical Rhyme rounds. Wait a second, something's not right here. Oh, because it's blast. Here we go. Viral, that's what we wanted. Viral, longbow, sharp shot, absolute must-have. Massage ball, incredibly good, absolute must-have. It's unique to this weapon. Galvanized scope is nice because it gives lots of extra crit, and we're going for a bunch of headshots anyways. And look at that, 312% status chance. It's pretty insane. Now, Galvanized Aptitude is multiplicative on this weapon, and Longbow Sharpshot is multiplicative on this weapon. So you kind of need Serration here. Otherwise, you're not having any base damage, and, well, you know, it's still a damage multiplier, and you need it. So that's why we have Amalgam Serration here. And this also gives the sprint speed, so that our evolution of 1.2 sprint speed or higher will always be active for the extra 80% fire rate. And these are the other two evolutions in case you're interested and want to have equipped. Now, like I said before, this is what I typically run. This is what I was running before Jade Shadows, and it works in most contents. It does struggle a bit on enemies you can't apply viral, which is unfortunate, but it will still manage to kill stuff just fine, as you can see. Especially once we start getting all of our headshot kills for Galvanized Scope up. Like, look at that. It's not struggling to kill anything here. Getting some juicy red crits, and it does big PP damage. But it still lacks the amount of AoE I want. Yes, it has a wide disc that it shoots. And yes, it has infinite body punch through. AoE is not something it doesn't have. However, I want to maximize the amount of big boomies in enemies we can hit at once. And gas damage is what I was doing before, again, like I said. And it is even stronger than it was before. Very much an option still. You can run this and enemies will still be destroyed. Except now you can actually do it without needing armor strip for it to actually be possible. Like, look at that. That was the normal version. Or not the normal, the normal mode, not even the Incarnon mode. I'd say that's pretty good. Look, 3 gas procs, 6 gas procs now, and there's also some slash procs there. But we go into the Incarnon form now, and it's going to be doing some very juicy damage. Look at that. That's all gas damage right there. Not insane, of course, but not terrible. Look at that. All of those gas clouds from this group just killed this group. And we have no armor strip. That would not have happened unless they were all grouped together before Jade Shadows. So, I'd say that's pretty good. Very effective. And of course, always grouping is just going to decimate them. So this is very much a viable option. And if you want gas just left over, like the clouds, to sit there to kill stuff, this would actually be better than Blast. But Blast is still pretty funny, I might say. Now, where is it? I don't have a build still. I was just messing around with it, so I have to switch this out. We'll put Thermite rounds over Malignant Force, Malignant Force, that's all you gotta do. There you go. Build's done. Switched out one mod, and now we've got blast damage instead. Now we have pure blast, whereas before, like, we had viral heat, actually gas is pure gas, because duh, it's made from toxin and heat. Never mind, the thing I was gonna say is now pointless. Look at that. It's doing fine damage, but we want some more damage. So that was a pretty good explosion. And we are in the normal mode of this weapon. So now we activate the Incarnon. And not always will it be able to blow enemies up, is the problem. But if you can, before, like, get 2 arrows off before, or you get lucky enough to get all 10 blast procs in a single shot, you can kill entire groups of enemies immediately. If you have a Riven, it is going to make it so much better, because what our goal is here is to get enough blast procs in a single arrow to kill all of the enemies by having the explosions proc. Now, if we do not get it in a single arrow, then we tend to have problems. We'll obviously have to be shooting more then if we want to be killing all of the enemies. So if we can get it in 1 arrow, we're big chillin'. That is why I like to have a Riven. Before I do that, I am going to group them real quick again, just to always show, because it doesn't take long. Oh, I'm not in the Incarnon form. Whoops. Completely destroys all of them, just like gas. If you have a Riven, it makes it so much easier, like the one I have here, because we can use this to replace prime rounds. Yes, we lose on status chance, but we gain multi-shot. So now we have more arrows going out at once, so we can get more procs, which means more blast damage. 264% status, while also having very high multi-shot, right? Let's see, galvanized chamber, that goes up to 230 plus this, that's another 106. So assuming RNG isn't going to give us that extra 36%, right, for another shot, that's going to be 4 shots. 4 shots, 250%, that's 1000% status chance. That's 10 procs. All we have to do is hope that none of the procs are impact. Luckily, it's going to be less than 10% chance to proc impact, which means most of the time with this Riven, because we have the multi-shot, we will be able to get all of our blast procs in a single arrow once we go into the Incarnate form. So, see? 1 arrow. It's glorious. Oh, I didn't kill that guy because we didn't get a headshot. It's beautiful. Wow, he's still not dead? Well, he's dead now. It is glorious. And one of the biggest upsides to using blast over, like, you know, viral heat or stuff like that is that it's a different element, meaning we can outsource viral or armor strip and stuff like that to get even more damage if we really wanted. It's completely unnecessary, but if you wanted to, you could do it. Unfortunately, that guy survived because we got 1 impact proc, which means we didn't get all 10 blast procs. If you were to have a Riven for the Paris Prime, Paris Riven in general, look at that. 1 enemy survived out of all of that. 1 arrow just killed 15 enemies, I think? No, 11. I know how to count. Don't worry about it. If you had a Riven with cold damage so that you could, you know, again, replace this, or I guess if you don't care about having galvanized scope, you could forego it, but I think it's really good for all the crit chance you get. But I suppose you could get rid of this. So then you would go Rhyme rounds instead of where I have the Riven now, and the Riven would replace galvanized scope. And then on this, you would want multi-shot, crit chance, and status chance. I know crit damage, yay, we need crit damage. Yes, but for the sake of consistency, status chance would be better just for, you know, really guarantee you get all of those blast procs, because that would be really nice to have the extra blast. Although I suppose, actually I forgot, because we have Rhyme rounds, we get the extra 60%, putting us at 312. So we're actually going to be getting 12 procs. So yeah, I guess never mind, you don't need stats chance. Yeah, I guess crit chance, crit damage, multi-shot. What's already considered the perfect god roll for almost every weapon in the game would be especially good on this. But that's gonna pretty much do it. Paris Prime, Paris Incarnon was already insanely strong. A very underrated weapon. And now it's even stronger. The sheer amount of AoE you get from it, right? You shoot a giant pancake, and that pancake can proc 10 blast procs if you have the right build, which makes it so all of the enemies you hit with that wide-ass pancake explode, and it has infinite body punch through, so you can hit entire groups of enemies. And then they just all die. It's really, really funny. And actually, hang on a second. So let's go back into here. I want to switch out this and put in this back to, you know, the normal blast build without the Riven, because I want to show you something that I haven't tested, so I'm not sure if this will do what I'm hoping it does, but if it does, it'll be really funny. I want to see if I can kill the entire group by grouping them without the Incarnon form. Just the normal mode. Alright, we've got plenty of stacks. Let's go back over here. Go Incarnon. Reset these enemies. Actually, exit Incarnon. I just said I was doing it without the Incarnon form. Pull them in. Nope. Ooh. Only a couple. Oh, it only took 4 arrows, and that was without a Riven. I think with a Riven and some RNG on your side, you could probably kill the whole group with a single arrow without the Incarnon form. And that would be pretty funny. That's going to do it for the updated Paris Incarnon after Jade Shadow's video. If you liked the video, then leave a like and subscribe, and a link to the Discord will be in the description. Adios.